Mr. Ebube Ahanefuna held his wife's hand, Obby, as they walked past the busy streets of Lagos, laughing about what had happened at an event they had just attended. While they were laughing and chatting, then a young lady walked past them who was very chubby and curvy and was not properly dressed. As the couple stared at the young lady who had just walked past them, Ebube gave a loud hiss. This is how they go about seducing young men, and then they end up siphoning their money. I know them. They are deceivers, Ebube said with so much irritation in his tone. My husband, it is not that bad. The woman is actually looking beautiful, if you ask me. It is just her dressing for me. But you know, people dress in what they are comfortable in. That does not necessarily mean they are bad, you know. Obby, Ebube's wife, said, trying to convince her husband to see things in another perspective. Anyways, my husband, that is why I love you. You're not easily distracted by all these young ladies flaunting themselves around. You're a very focused man, Obby said, patronizing her husband. Ebube let out a warm smile, thanking his wife for her kind words. But as they continued walking, the thought of the woman that had just walked past them continued playing in Ebube's mind. Oh my God, that woman is so beautiful. See her shape. See the way she's curvy with beautiful shape. Chai, I wish I can have a taste of such woman, Ebube said to himself, lost in thoughts. The honk from a passing car who had almost hit Ebube brought Ebube back to his senses as the picture of the lady mesmerized him. Ebube and Obby had just been married for 6 months. Ebube, who was a primary school teacher the time Obby had met him. Obby loved Ebube from the get-go because she had seen him being more than just an ordinary primary school teacher. What Obby had seen was a young man with prospects, young, intelligent and smart man whose future would be great. Ebube was so hardworking at the time, so it was easy for Obby to fall in love with him despite his current state at the time. But when Obby had introduced Ebube as the man she wanted to marry, her parents were furious with her. Obby, of all the young men in this village, you choose that local primary school teacher, a man that cannot even properly take care of himself? Obby's mother echoed in the living room. But mother, I really do love him. It is not just about now, but the future, Obby said convincingly to her mother. Obby was the only daughter of her parents. Her parents had 3 sons living in the big city and were established and doing well for themselves. Obby's mother had always wished that Obby, her only daughter, would get married to a wealthy man who would take proper care of her and give her all that she needs. But Obby's choice really threw her mother off because she saw Ebube as a riffraff and who has nothing to offer her only daughter. On several occasions, Obby's mother, Nne, had tried talking Obby out of getting married to Ebube. But Obby was really determined, and for her, she knew what she wanted, and that person was Ebube. After a lot of back and forth, Obby's parents had to allow Obby marry Ebube, the primary school teacher, and they gave their blessings. After Obby and Ebube's wedding, the couple decided to relocate to Lagos and start a new life in hope that things would become better for them. Luckily for Ebube, after 2 weeks of the relocation, he got a job as a salesperson in a big international furniture company. Ebube was glad that life was becoming better for him and he could at least take care of his basic needs and that of his wife Obby. Obby was glad that her husband was gradually picking up. Everything was going fine until Obby got pregnant. At first, it all started with loss of appetite. Obby hated eating, as anything she ate, she would throw up. So she basically preferred to eat just fruits. Gradually, Obby began to lose so much weight. Though she was never really chubby, she had reduced from a size 8 to a size 6 with a protruding stomach. Anyone who had seen Obby prior to her pregnancy would believe that Obby was seriously sick. At first, Ebube wondered what people would think of him, given by the way his wife was looking. Ebube complained to the doctor, who informed him that it was only normal in some women, that nothing was wrong with her, that his wife, that some women actually lose weight during pregnancy, especially during the early stage. Ebube had to put his mind at rest. All through Obby's pregnancy, she was very skinny, and when she finally gave birth to their son, Ebube would make side comments about her look and how she was not looking attractive at all. But after a few months, Obby got back her appetite for food, and so she started eating whatever she came across to fill up for the time she was not properly eating. And it did not take long before Obby gained weight and went from being a size 6 back to being a size 10. Obby was really pleased with herself that she was back to the way she was and got her charm back. Ebube, her husband as well, noticed the changes and did not fail to compliment her looks. However, the workload was too much for Obby. Her baby boy was a handful. He was too clingy and never allowed Obby to have some rest. The house chores were so much for Obby to deal with. Her husband, Ebube, was not helping matters at as all he does was to eat and watch the television whenever he was at home. Ebube even found it difficult to carry his own son. He left both the house chores and taking care of their son the responsibility for Obby alone. His only responsibility as the man of the house was to provide for the family, and for him, he was doing just fine providing. My husband, please, can you help me carry the baby while I go take a shower? Obby asked her husband one day. Please, I can't. Allow him sleep before you take your bath. This was his exact response to Obby, his wife. Obby expected the answer she got. It was not his first time of responding to her in such a manner, though she felt Ebube had a change of mind after the last time they had a conversation, and he promised to do better and change for good. But no, it was obvious that he was not willing to assist Obby in any way. The words from Ebube confirmed that her husband was not ready to assist her, nor willing to change, so Obby had to brace herself up. After all, she had seen other women took full responsibility of their family. Ebube was doing so well at his place of work, and soon he was promoted to a senior manager. Ebube was happy that everything had fallen in place for him and he could afford literally anything that he wanted. Ebube had been eyeing a lady named Oluchi who lived in the next estate away from theirs. But Ebube has always known that he could not afford to have such lady, as Oluchi was always looking flashy and expensive. But now, Ebube knew that he could at least afford to approach her and meet her demands, as the company he worked for had given him an official car as part of the promotion package in the office. He felt really proud of himself, and for him, he could literally get any woman of his choice. Obby, on the other hand, soon lost a lot of weight, as she was the type of person that could not accommodate stress. She was the only daughter of her family, and her mother and her parents always pampered her. So, whenever she was stressed out, the drastic change was always visible. Though Obby was more slender than the way she was before, but she was still beautiful and graceful. Ebube's attention wandered so much around Oluchi. The voluptuous figure, her vivacious spirit, the all confidence of Oluchi captivated Ebube's attention. Also, Ebube found himself drawn to her laughter, the curves that she had, her big boobs were all a sharp contrast of Obby's slim physique. Ebube started to spend time with Oluchi and started to secretly date her while keeping his commitment to Obby's hidden. As the weeks turned into months, Obby noticed a shift in Ebube. He became distant, often more mostly preoccupied with his phone, always chatting and laughing while on the phone. Ebube always returned home late at night and gave excuses for his late nights. Obbie could no longer hold it anymore. Her husband had completely changed, and though he was not the best of husbands before, his attitude and behavior took a whole turn entirely. One day, Obbie decided to gently question Ebube and know what the problem was. Ebube dismissed her concerns, saying there was no problem at all and that everything was fine with him. But soon, Ebube started to throw subtle jabs at Obby's appearance, saying things like, a little more weight could add some vibrancy to our sex life. See the way you look so dry. There is nothing to even hold. You are too skinny for my liking, he would say with a smile sarcastically. Each remarks of Ebube chipped away Obby's self-esteem, but Obby held on, believing love would overcome every negative challenge, not wanting to dwell on Ebube's negative remarks. But each time, Ebube tried the more to belittle her. Obby soon became frustrated by Ebube's ill treatment. Her son was already 1 year old. Obby had to quickly win him in a bid to get herself back, but it was as if the universe was fighting her. Nothing seemed to be right with everything that she does. So one day, she thought of ways she could get Ebube's attention back to herself, because it seems as though the Ebube, the primary school teacher she had fallen in love with, that had a lot of prospects, was no longer the same person anymore. She had fought her parents, stood her ground, before they had allowed her marry Ebube. How was she going to tell her parents, especially her mother, what she was going through? After vehemently refused their advice, she had a good intention, but her good intentions was not enough to keep her marriage. So one day, while Ebube was bathing in the bathroom, Obby sneakily took Ebube's phone to get the contact of the girl her husband has been chatting with. When her husband left for work, Obby dialed the phone number of the girl. She hesitated calling, but then again, she had to try her best. Hello, Oluchi said over the phone. Who am I speaking to? Obby spoke up immediately. Hello, I have a delivery for you, but I'm finding it difficult to locate your address, Obby said convincingly. Okay then, I would send a more vivid address and description to you, Oluchi replied as she hung up the call. Obby was not sure if she was making the right decision. She read the address Oluchi had sent to the phone, and then she proceeded to the location. When Obby got to Oluchi's house, she was overwhelmed by what she saw. How can her husband be dating a lady of such caliber? The house was even more beautiful than the one they lived in. Or was she in the wrong address? Obby thought to herself. When Oluchi came out, she asked Obby if she was the one with the package for delivery for her. Technically yes. I was the one that called you, Obby responded, already feeling as though she had lost a battle she had not even begun. So where is the package? Oluchi asked curiously. I am sorry, but I did that because I need to speak with you, Obby said with so much worry in her tone, stuttering. So, you mean to tell me that you don't have a package for me? What nonsense! How dare you? Oluchi fired at Obby. I just want to beg you to please leave my husband, Obby said calmly. Your husband? And who is your husband? Oluchi questioned. Ebube. Ebube is my husband, Obby replied with a mixture of confidence and worry in her tone. Oh, I see. You are Ebube's wife. No wonder. No wonder he chose me over you. Can't you see the difference? Real men eat flesh, not bone like you. Oluchi said, laughing. The words from Oluchi sent cold down Obby's spine. No woman has ever spoken to her in such a manner. Bone? Did you just call me Bone? Obby asked to be sure she had heard her correctly. Yes. See how thin you're looking. See, whatever you are called, please leave my house immediately before I release my dog on you and never dare to come close to me. If you have a problem with your husband, then deal with it. Oluchi said loudly, gave a loud hiss as she slammed the door behind her. Obby was short of words as she managed to walk home in shame. When Ebube returned from work that day, he was very furious. How dare you call Oluchi? What effrontery! It even gave you the guts to approach her in the first place. See, I am going to warn you for the first and last time. If you ever try what you just did today, just know that this marriage will be over. I am just managing you. So don't even think that you have the right to harass any woman I choose. Is that clear? Ebube shouted. Obby's eyes narrowed. Her jaw dropped as tears poured down her chin. Why did I not see this? Why did I not see this part of him? What wrong have I done to deserve this? What kind of treatment is this? Obby said to herself in so much pain, wallowing in grief. Weeks soon turned into months, and Ebube's attitude became even worse. He became hostile to his wife, and the sight of Obby, his wife, irritated him the more. Ebube even hated having to talk to Obby, nor have a proper conversation with her. Obby drew solace in her son. At first, Obby told herself that Oluchi, her husband's side chick, must have used charm on her husband. So, Obby even became very spiritual with it. Oh God, I bind and cast every strange woman that wants to take my husband from me. Oh God, blind my husband's eyes spiritually from seeing that girl. Oh, Obby would say, praying, binding, and casting while shouting. As the days went by, Obby did not see any result or change in her husband. She even started to blame herself that probably she was the cause why her husband was cheating on her. She thought of ways she could do better. She thought of ways she could win her husband over to herself again. Obby became even more frustrated, which even made her lose weight the more. Because the more she tried, the more she failed at it. Ebube stopped taking care of the family financially. Each time Obby asked him for money, he would say, are you cripple? Can't you walk? Can't you fend for yourself? So you are waiting for me to give you my hard-earned money. But Ebube spent all his money on Oluchi, who was more than willing to grab as many as she can get. Obby had had enough of Ebube's constant insult and ridicule. So when their son started schooling, she had to take up a job as a secretary at a small firm. Though the pay was not mouth-watering, she had to take the job not for anything, to get the job experience and get a better one in future. And also to take her thoughts away from Ebube. While she was at it, Obby soon found herself. She no longer felt pity and sorry for herself the way she used to, and she became happier. And each day, she found reason to be productive and be a better version of herself. Ebube noticed the changes in Obby. She was happier, and she no longer prowled into her husband's affair, which made Ebube, her husband, uncomfortable. One day, Oluchi asked Ebube to buy her a car. What? A car? That is too much now. Are you going to get me a car or not? It's as if you no longer want this relationship, Oluchi said, already getting worked up. No, my baby now. Why will you say that? Now, you know I want you badly, okay? I will get a car for you on one condition, Ebube said, looking lustfully at Oluchi. What is the condition? Oluchi inquired. I want you to marry me. Marry you? You want me to marry you? Oluchi said, feeling very surprised. Don't worry about my wife. Oh. If it is my wife that is your problem, that is not a problem at all. I will take control of that, you know. She does not have a choice. Either she allows me to marry you or she leaves. The choice is hers to make, but for you, my baby. You know I love you now. Will you marry me? I will buy you a car. That is not a problem at all. So you mean you want me to be your second wife? Precisely. I just want you to be my baby, always by my side. Ebube said convincingly. Oluchi agreed on one condition if Ebube got her the car. Ebube was very much excited. When Ebube got home that day, he informed Obby that he was going to take a new wife. Obby listened to her husband speak and then hot tears flowed down her chin, wetting the ground. Ebube, so it has gotten to this. What about the love we share? You never told me you liked polygamy before getting married to me. What changed? Yes, I know I never told you then. Then I did not have money. Now, so I have to go with what I can afford. Now that I have money, I can take a second wife, in fact, as many women as I want to. Throughout that night, Obby could not sleep. How can Ebube, the man she loved so much, be this cruel? No, I am done. Now, I can't take this. Now I know he actually married me because I agreed to marry him, not because he loved me. I will not allow him humiliate me. In the weeks following, Obbie realized that she was no longer needed in the home. And if Ebube married a second wife, she was going to be the slave of the home. Ebube bought a car as promised for Oluchi. Oluchi was excited, thanking him. So, when are we getting married? Ebube asked curiously. Let's make it next month. At least we would have enough time to prepare. Oluchi responded. I quite agree. I quite agree with you, my baby. Ebube echoed. Ebube and Oluchi started their marriage preparation. As the day for Ebube's wedding to Oluchi drew nearer, Obby started her exit plan. First, she rented an apartment with the little money she had saved up, secretly. So when everything was set, she informed Ebube that she was moving out of the house. Ebube, I just want to let you know that I am done. I am done with this marriage. I wish you well in your upcoming marriage, but I will not be one of your wives. I will not be counted in the number. I am not in for a polygamous home. Oh, thank God, oh, at least I did not chase you. You are the one that chased yourself from my house. Thank God, oh. If your family asks, I will say you were the one that packed out of the house, right? Okwaya, I am happy. Bye-bye, you can go. Ebube said, happy and laughing. Obi packed all her belongings and left the house with their son. The day of Ebube's wedding to Oluchi came, and Ebube's eyes was beaming with excitement. He called Oluchi to know how she was doing early in the morning that day, but Oluchi's calls was not going through. He called her second line. It was switched off. What is wrong? I hope my baby is fine, Ebube said worriedly as he picked up his car key to go check up on Oluchi to know how she was doing. When he got to Oluchi's house, he knocked at the gate. There was no response. That was when the gate man came out. Oga, you wan break the gate? Wetin? I am looking for Oluchi. Don't you know me? Oh, Oga madam. Oga, Madam Oluchi, she no dey here again oo. Meaning Oluchi is no longer living here. Oh, she traveled abroad yesterday and the owner of this house has even put this house on lease. What do you mean? You mean like traveled abroad? I saw her some days back. She did not tell me she was traveling abroad. Today is our wedding. Oga, that one is not my problem oh. Please, leave oh, or you want to rent the house? It is empty oh. She packed all her belongings. The gateman responded as he closed the gates. In that instance, Ebube knew that he had been played. Ah, I am finished. She promised to marry me. Ah, my car. Ah, my darling wife, Obby. My wife. Oh, I am ruined. Ebube cried, regretting all his actions. The glitters he was chasing was not gold after all. Ebube tried calling Obby to beg for her forgiveness. Obby, my wife, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Please come back home. Obby, you know I love you from the very start. Please, it is the devil. Please come back home. Ebube said over the phone. Obby listened to Ebube over the phone, crying and begging for her forgiveness. Obby listened to him talking. She did not even say a word. She allowed him talk, do all the crying and all the begging. And then when Obby felt he was done talking, she said, "Are you done talking?" Yes, my wife. Yes, my beloved wife. I am done talking, Ebube said remorseful. Obby looked at her phone. She hung up the call as she gave a loud hiss. What? She ended up the call on me. I am finished. This woman does not have a forgiving spirit oh. She should please come back to me. I need her than ever before. I am ruined. Thank you for watching the story. Ebube did not expect what he got. I hope you've learned some valuable lessons from this story, just as I did also. Tell us in the comment section the valuable lessons you have learned from the story and where you're watching from. Like this video please and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed to this channel, and do well to turn on your post notification button. Alright, and please do not forget to share this video with your loved ones. Until I come your way again with another African story, for now, from me, it is bye.